April 11, political leaders Kentucky and Tennessee said Tuesday after two mass S in Louisville and Nashville that killed 11 people, including tougher laws that prevent people crisis from accessing firearms. Called for controls. A bank employee killed 5 colleagues and injured 9 others at his workplace in Louisville, Kentucky, on Monday. On March 27, 3 9-year-olds and 3 staff members were led by a former student at a private Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee. Louisville said in a briefing Tuesday afternoon that gunman was killed by police officer fire and released body camera footage of the first 2 officers who arrived on scene. The footage showed them being shot at by the gunman who was waiting for them as they approached the bank lobby. He hit a 26-year-old police officer who had just graduated from the police academy. The other officer was slightly injured, but managed to get behind a planter. He finally saw the gunman and killed him. Earlier on Tuesday, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee urged members of the General Assembly find a compromise to support the state's so-called red flag laws, firearms. I ask legislature to take thoughtful, practical measures to do this, strengthen our laws, separate these dangerous people from firearms, and at same time protect constitutional rights of people of this state. The governor told reporters Tuesday morning. Such legislation would complement an existing law that would allow courts to bar perpetrators of domestic abuse, sexual assault and stalking from owning or possessing firearms. Lee's call for cooperation comes after the Republican-dominated House expelled 2 black Democrats who staged a protest at the Tennessee state capitol calling for tighter gun controls. The governor also said he would sign an executive order requiring local courts to report criminal records to state law enforcement within 72 hours. This is a measure aimed at more effective screening of gun buyers. At a news conference in Nashville on Tuesday, Lee urged legislature to separate these dangerous people from firearms while at same time protecting constitutional rights of people of this state. U.S. Representative Morgan McGarvey urged federal lawmakers to support universal background checks at a press conference in Louisville. The Democrat said he worked with conservative colleagues during his time in the state legislature to pass legislation that would help temporarily remove firearms from people in crisis. McGarvey reported that man had texted or called someone to say he had legally purchased the assault-style rifle he used on April 4 and was suicidal and was considering execution, pointing out that Louisville shooter may have been flagged as a risk. We don't have tools written in the books to deal with someone who poses an imminent danger to themselves or others, Congressman said. Mayor Craig Greenberg said at a news conference that Mondays had brought the number of people killed by gun violence Louisville to 40 so far in 2023, describing the level of firearm violence his city as beyond appalling. 15 community members attend a ceremony at Crescent Hill Presbyterian Church following the Mass at the Old National Bank in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, USA, April 10, 2023. Jeffrey Dean 12345 The Democratic mayor noted that under current Kentucky law, the rifle would one day be legally auctioned, and urged state lawmakers to allow weapons used in LY to be destroyed. The laws we have now allow violence and, he said. According to the Kentucky State Police, any person 21 years of age or older who is legally entitled to own a firearm can carry a concealed lethal weapon. The non-profit group defines mass as 4 or more S or killings, not including the shooter. 1 in 5 American adults reported being personally threatened with a firearm, according to data released Tuesday by KFF, a non-profit research organization formerly known as the Kaiser Family Foundation. In a similar post, KFF says they lost a family member due to gun violence, including suicide. Louisville Interim Police Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Villaroel told reporters at a news conference Tuesday that police identified shooter as Connor Sturgeon, who was working at downtown branch of Old National Bank time of. On Monday, police initially said the attacker was 23, but later corrected his age to 25. Authorities issued a search warrant at gunman's home and seized items, but Chief said he could not disclose details of what was seized as investigation continues. Breaking your heart, Louisville police responded within minutes to reports of an attacker at the bank office near the Slugger Field baseball stadium on Monday morning. Police said that police opened fire on the gunman, who broadcast video of his attack live on social media. According to Gwyn Villaroel, he had no prior contact with the Louisville police. From the University of Louisville Health, according to Jason Smith, 4 of the 9 injured remained in hospital Tuesday, with 2 in intensive care. Smith said the police academy graduate, who was shot in the head, remained in critical condition Tuesday. The doctor added his voice to the chorus calling for gun control and said he was tired from having to treat so many hit victims. There are many times when you can walk into a room and tell someone they're not coming home tomorrow, he said. It breaks your heart when you hear someone shouting "Mom" or "Daddy." Julia Hart reported, fiction by Paul Thaumash and Jonathan Otis.